Hello, and welcome to Session 9 of Star Wars Destiny of the Force. Our team of heroic Jedi trainees are currently split apart a bit. Most of them are on the world of Socorro, while one, Sol Skywalker, is on his way back to Ossus from Tatooine after a adventure with the roguish Zeltron Iricia Delok. Meanwhile, everyone else on the world of Socorro has been having various adventures, and as we come in on this session, looking over the volcanic and sulfuric smoking world, you see a Mandalorian starship flying in toward a landing pad where Kadas is standing with a fellow Mandalorian, Delani Fade, who is holding captured Mandalorian Cinder Fett. And the two are currently awaiting this Mandalorian ship to touch down. Kadas, Lani looks at you and kind of tilts her helmet a little to the side. I still would like you to come with us.
I'll have to check with my team to make sure they're okay, and if they are, I'd like to see us through as well.
Well, I respect your choice, but would appreciate your company. And she kind of nods toward the direction of where your teammates Young Fell and Talia Skywalker are, near Young's ship, the Paragon. And she begins to move with the unconscious Cinder's body toward the landing Mandalorian ship, likely to get her on board so as to no longer have to deal with that. So, do you approach the others?
Yeah, just God's probably just kind of look a little bit uncertain just in his body movements, but eventually he'll go back to Talia and Young.
As you approach them, you would see Talia having propped Pantoran named Luxorphos against a container, checking him over after he got in a shootout with Lani over a disagreement, and she quickly had shot him down. Talia, you want to do a check on him?
Yeah, this poor man.
All right.
He deserves some R&R here.
So that'll be 3 difficulty medical check.
That will be purples and not reds. Thank you, brain. Well.
As we all collectively go, excuse me?
Right. First roll of the session and already using Natural Doctor?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that again.
I think you can definitely do better than that, at least. So, Let's see.
I
There we
can do
go.
better.
I was gonna laugh if somehow you did worse.
The
Right?
exact opposite roll, in fact.
You know what? We take it.
Yeah, so how many ranks in Surgeon?
2.
Okay. Lux is not back up.
Would a stim pack bring him back?
Yes.
Alright, I'll go ahead and use the other stim pack that Young gave me last session then.
Okay. Alright, as you're injecting him, Kadas would be coming up.
Badass? Is everything okay?
Yeah, they're taking Cinder now, and Lonnie wants me to come along, and I admit I feel like I have a duty to see this to whatever end, but have you heard anything from Sidani or Castum?
Not yet, no. But I'm sure they're fine. Do you want to go back with Lonnie?
This situation with Cinder is just, it's complicated and it's not, and I feel like I have an obligation to see the end of it, one way or the other.
Well, I agree with you. If you want to go, Kadas, I think you should.
I also have a responsibility here with you two and the others still out there.
Maybe so, but we have enough here that we could handle it. And if I remember right, you came to the Jedi to learn how to be a better Mandalorian. Your duty is to the Mandalorians right now.
Can also just nod his head. I'm sorry that it interfered with your duties. This is.
Talia. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is not how I imagined it going.
Talia just kind of smiles at that and kind of nods in agreement. Neither did I, but it's one momentary setback. There's still a lot more out there that we don't know and that we can discover. And like I said, no one should ever ask you to choose between two things that are important to you. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Well, if I walk away from anything, it's you and your brother are more than I expected.
We get that a lot.
Well, this time it's in a good way.
I wish you the best of luck, Kadas. And we're always a call away if you ever need anything.
Right. I'll try to meet back with you on Osis if I can't reach you otherwise.
Sounds good. Just be careful, okay? You don't really know what you're walking into.
No. going home. I know exactly what I'm walking into.
And I think my warning still stands.
I'm a little tougher this time. And Haas will just kind of nod once more and start to walk away. And he'll try to get, well, he can't really get visor to eye contact with Young if he's still around.
Young is he's kind of just mulling over the situation. He's not exactly pleased, but he'll say, "I respect your wishes, Kadas. I understand that you have a duty to your people, but if it's at all possible, find out any information you can from Cinder. I understand that it's perhaps too little, too late, but knowledge is power. It can't hurt to try."
While I wouldn't say it in the same words, I think we are the same mind when it comes to this. I trust you to take care of the others, Young.
It's my mission. I'll sooner give up my life than theirs.
And here I thought I was going to walk away with a negative opinion of royalty. Oh, Venata excluded.
Yeah, Vanada's trying to make contact with Sidani and Caston, by the way. That's why you don't see her around. If you want to say goodbye to her, you'd have to go find her.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's... How are the Mandalorians looking? Are they looking impatient, or are they still just, you know...
The ship, you would have just seen the ship touch down. So, you probably have a few minutes before they'd be waiting for you.
I'll just do a quick look for her then.
Okay. Make a 1 purple, 1 black perception check.
Outstanding.
Just from a brief, like, looking around, trying to get an idea of where she went, you're not sure. It would take you longer to find her than you would probably like.
Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, it's a matter of, do you think the Mandalorians will wait for you or not?
It's also a matter of, is she hiding willingly, or is she, like, gone? We don't... It's like, you know, a lot of things, but she can take care of herself. A little disappointed, but can also kind of just stop looking and head back towards the Mandalorians.
Okay. Talia, Lux would be waking up at this point and kind of shaking and shuddering and just kind of rolling all around and just, this hurts. Everything hurts.
I'm sorry. Tried to do my best.
He kind of gives you a half smile. Sure you did. Oh.
And she'll just kind of put a hand on his arm lightly. Go ahead.
Continue.
I was just gonna say, I'm really sorry about everything, Lux. I know this day didn't go the way anyone expected.
Gotta get out of here.
Can we help you back anywhere?
Nah, I can find the way. Thanks.
To just kind of nod and offer him a hand up if he wants it.
He takes it, but only enough until his feet are under him, and then he pulls away.
We won't keep you here any longer.
Hope next time, see ya, it's different.
I really hope so too. Take care of yourself, okay?
He just kind of gives a nod, doesn't even look in Young's direction, and then begins making his way toward the exit of this landing pads area.
Tali will just kind of sigh and then slowly turn to Young. Well,
Well, indeed. This was a disappointing start to my time in the group.
it's certainly one way of putting it, Princeling.
Do we have any leads left here? Or do we have to return to Ossus with nothing?
Well, our chances at the relic dealer are gone. Unless Sid and Koss have found anything, no. We return to Ossus as we were, and hope Sol found out something useful.
Where have they got to anyway? What's taking them so long?
Knowing them, it could be any number of options.
And with that, we cut away to Kadas heading to the Mandalorian ship. As you approach it, behind you there's a view of the mountain spire that Thadani and Castum head off toward in the distance. And as you approach the ship, you don't see any sign of Lonnie. You figure she went on board, but by the ramp onto the ship, waiting at the top, you see a Mandalorian woman in full armor, kind of a lightish blue armor with some red markings. Clan car. And she's shorter and kind of smaller than Lonnie, probably to your knowledge, probably a similar build to Zana. And as you're coming to the ramp, you just when Lonnie said she had help, wasn't sure you're gonna make it.
Do I recognize this person?
No, like I said, clan car, that's about it. You can tell she's probably, just based on her armor design, probably more of a pilot than a warrior.
Alright. Well, we saw a chance, and we took it. Wasn't a sure thing at all, but it's done now.
Sure is. You really did a number on him. She's referring to Lux, and kind of nods her head as she sees it. Kind of, so you, if you look in the way she nods, you see the kind of stumbling Pantoran heading out of the area. But looking back to you, he says, Cinder looking worse. Once I get us into hyperspace, I'll see what I can do. Make sure she arrives alive.
Yeah. If you need any assistance, I'm trained with some skill, but Lonnie wanted to make sure that Cinder didn't regain consciousness. I think she took her loss very deeply.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She would. Wouldn't she? And you just see the woman kind of tilting before saying, I'm Bali Kar.
Kadas Ordo. Before we go, do you know who exactly was lost from Clan Fade?
And you just see her tilt her head down and Lonnie's father.
Just like a very noticeable inhale from Kadas. I thought it might be something like that.
They weren't close, but
Family's family.
alright. You coming or not?
Yeah, I'm coming. Just let me know if you hear anything about I don't know, alarms or fugitives, especially concerning a insect-like species.
She just kind of tilts her head at you before giving a slight shrug and nod and heading to the direction of the cockpit.
Alright, Kadas will just start climbing up. Take a brief moment to turn around, see the others, and then continue on the ship.
As the ramp closes behind you and the Mandalorian ship begins to take off, we zoom away to a nearby rooftop where a Hapen woman, Vanadakor, watches as the ship flies away before trying her comm again, a little more depressed than before. Sid, please come in. Sid, where are you? And with that, we go inside the mountainous spire, into heat vents and metallic maintenance tunnels as a multi-legged crawler moves through. Do you keep getting static over your comm, like someone's trying to make contact, but it can't make it through?
Okay.
And as the walker moves, you in the pilot seat, cast him in the gadget control seat. 2 containers full of stolen Jedi kyber crystals that you have recovered. Just a bit below Castum's feet. In an effort to stop this facility and force out Nijakata and her Zabrak associate, you have decided to try to damage or otherwise reconfigure the workings of the heat vent systems. As you approach the main heat vent conduits, a lot of smoke near them, as if they've just exhausted recently. You approach in the crawler, kind of a loud thunk thunk as each leg kind of moves closer. How do you two want to go about this?
Well, I seem to have access to tools. Or, at the very least, remote tools in a way. I think I'd want to use those to try to do whatever she's planning with these vents.
Are we talking like mechanical or hacking kind of for them? These tools.
That's a good question. Does the vehicle have hacking as well? But I doubt it. I assume it's
No.
just mechanical.
No,
Okay.
you could use the arms to potentially do mechanical things, but no. There's no visible computer systems anyway. If there are any, they'd probably be at a control station somewhere. Where you just escaped from.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to extend our invitations any, so we'll just do it out here with the vehicle and whatever arms we can manage.
Okay. So what are you hoping to achieve?
A buildup of heat to cause the facility to become unstable. I guess just kind of collapse in on itself.
Okay.
Overload the heating.
Then, yeah, as you said, then make a 1 red, 2 black planetary piloting check to get the crawler into position. You have to basically partially climb onto the vents for the arms to have access.
Okay.
Alright. You climb up and onto it here. It's not the most stable position, but you think Custom can work from there.
I give Castum the thumbs up.
Okay, so Custom, you're now controlling the arms of the crawler.
Alright.
Right. So it'll be 2 red, a purple, and 2 black due to smoke, 2 black due to positioning conditions.
So 4?
Yes. But I'm saying in case you can remove any from due to visibility or what have you. And this will be
As much as I'd like
check.
as much as I'd like to say it, I'm in the vehicle, so sadly I don't think my
You have a view through the vehicle.
Okay. And the other two were because of position, right?
Yes. So if you have gear,
Yeah.
so that could be removed by if you have gearhead or something like that.
Which I sadly don't, so
Ooh.
yay.
I assume those are used for advantages.
Yeah.
So take 1 strain. Sid can, by the way, you could have recovered 2. So it is not quick, but Casta begins working to manipulate controls on the vents to slowly begin to close them so that the heat can't escape properly. As you're doing this, sensors begin to pick up additional readings in the maintenance tunnels.
What kind of readings? Droids?
Yep. Mechanical life forms.
We got company. How much more time does Cass need for this?
A good bit. You have to shut off each vent manually, basically.
Alright, Sid will grab a blaster carbine. Is it safe to poke or head out of the vehicle, or not really too hot?
There is all the smoke, and it will be getting warmer the longer you spend there.
That's not good. Alright, well, he needs time to work, so I guess I will use the Sid will open the hatch and kind of lean out. She'll use the Farsight power to see through the smoke. And if successful, she'll start taking some pot shots at the droids coming for us.
Right. The check. Okay. And so what is the application of the effect?
Spend the force point to ignore the effects of darkness or blindness and see normally up to medium range for the remainder of the round. Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe it should cover smoke, especially with the transparent upgrade if needed. But I think the basic covers it.
Probably. But, yeah, okay, so... Alright, so as your vision clears through the smoke, you find yourself breaking out into an instant sweat just from the proximity of all the heat. But as you are looking through the darkness and smoke, turning into a much brighter environment, like mist on a sunny day, you see the 4 security droids approaching.
What range are they at?
Because you can see them, they're at medium range.
Fair enough. I will Do I have time to commit a force test to offense or defense?
Yes, you would.
I will do both.
Okay. And it'll be your cool against 2 difficulty. All right. So while
It's
you're
too hot in here for cool.
sorry.
It's too hot in here for cool.
So as you're wiping sweat from your brow that's already forming, and you're trying to center yourself enough to focus and to feel and sense the environment around you, the droids do get the opportunity to aim and begin firing before you can begin doing so. So what is your... let's see, so what's...
Defense, 2 upgrades.
What?
1 defense, 2 upgrades.
They succeed and begin firing, hitting you for 12 wounds.
Ow.
So yeah, as the shots begin firing out toward you, they just begin blasting and hitting the area. A lot bounce off the top of the crawler, but a good bit is still hitting you and kind of scraping and singeing you up. Along with the smoke and heat making it difficult to kind of breathe and concentrate. You can see through it, but that doesn't mean it is comfortable. So now it is your turn.
Maneuver to take cover, get an extra point of defense, and then I will fire back.
All right. Yep. So they have 1 defense.
And medium range.
Yes.
So that will be 10 damage.
Okay. You begin firing and you do damage to the droids, but you do not take any of them down. They seem to be decently well armored.
Oh dear. Hurry up with those casts.
Speaking
I'm
of
trying.
casts, another check for you. Same difficulty.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, I succeeded.
What do you want the result of the check to be?
Well, I definitely want to succeed.
Yes, okay, so 1. Yeah. I meant, do you want 3 successes and a despair as the result, I mean, for example? Or do you want advantages?
Advantages, and then give the boost to Sid.
Okay. You would only need 1 advantage for that. So it'd be
So then 2 successes ended an
Yep.
advantage?
correct. Okay. So you begin picking up the pace and moving a bit faster. The way the arms are positioned will help give Sid kind of a bit of cover. But then as you're moving to close one of the vents, rather than successfully close the lock, you tear it off. And the heat vent, no longer having a proper control on it, begins just full blasting the heat out into the crawler and into Sid.
No.
Who either needs to make a coordination check to dodge it or a resilience check to, well, resist it.
Yeah, I'm dodging.
Okay.
Would it be possible to give her an extra boost by yelling, "Look out"?
I mean, you're already giving her a boost from the check.
That's why I said an extra one.
Yeah. All right. So, as one of the so basically the boost will be you can use that arm that is moving to kind of grab onto and move away. But yeah, the heat is going to blast out right onto the crawler, by the way, and the crawler's going to start taking more heat than even it's built for.
Oof.
So Castum, it's gonna start feeling warm inside of the crawler. Not in a like panic way, but definitely in a way that impacts you.
Oh yeah, it's just like my home planet.
Yep.
So,
So
is the die on this roll or?
so you get
On my
the
turn.
you get the boost die from Cass on this roll that you're about to do.
Okay.
So I didn't give you a difficulty.
All right.
So please roll 2 red and 2 black.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
So net result at best is well, it depends on if you want to take the advantages, I suppose. Because you can't succeed.
Mm.
Can end up before advantages. Which is good because you're about to take a lot.
Yeah, that might be ideal. Oh, none of this is good.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
Can we go back to the pleasant RP, please?
So, okay. Then, so are you using it for advantages or? Okay.
I guess yes.
So you take 8 wounds and that,
Do I get soaked?
No, I hadn't finished yet. You take 8 wounds and 4 strain breaching.
Hmm.
It's damaging the vehicle. you ain't gonna be able to soak that. And that was already including your advantages to reduce the strain.
Gotcha.
And you are now on fire as well. Considered to be. So you will take additional damage on your turn. So
I think we've worn out a welcome here.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, your clothes are. Were you still wearing that maintenance suit, or had you gotten out of it?
I would still be wearing it.
Yeah, well
because
then it's.
there was no time to change.
Yeah, then it's on fire.
Now I will get out of it. Yes.
Yeah. So as you move and roll around and try to dodge, yeah. So on your turn, well, it's the droid's turn first. My bad. So since you didn't actually successfully dodge, you still have your cover from before.
Okay, so that would be 2 defense and 2 upgrades.
So you said 2 defense and 2 upgrades. Yeah. They are, however, going to move into short range. Go fire.
Please don't go down.
I'm tempted to upgrade the check, but
Currently, their current difficulty they're rolling against is the 1 red, 1 purple, 2 black.
All right, I'll leave it for now. I think we might need
The destiny. Yeah. Ooh. Well, good news. Due to the threat, I'll say the heat vent catches one of them, and the one you shot, and the biggest burst of heat is gonna take out one of them.
Oh, huzzah!
So there's only 3 now, but the remaining 3 get a really good because you failed to grab the arm and really dodge the fire, and you're currently on fire. Their scanners are able to pick you up better, and they hit you for 13. Aren't you at 13?
No.
Yeah. You had set your wounds to 13 because you got burned. There's no way you're soaking 9.
No, it took us 7. Give me a second. No,
Yeah,
what
you'd
you so
You'd be 19 then.
so it would be.
And now it's your turn. However, at the start of your turn, you do take the burning damage. Lucky for you, you have the soak that you do. So you're only going to take 1 from that. Okay.
You will drop the committed force dice. Try to get out of the burning outfit.
Okay. See what
Put myself out from being on fire.
Right. Yeah, let's double check what the check for that is. That is a 2 difficulty coordination check, I'll say, with 2 setbacks due to environment.
Ooh.
You just barely managed to get that maintenance uniform off you and off the top of the vehicle but that is your turn, I believe. Side of you can move, but I don't believe you can act.
Could I
I'll
close
double check
the
that.
hatch and move back to the piloting seat?
You would need to take 2 strain to get back in, I think, from where you're at. It was an action to get yourself out of the burning situation. So,
All right.
so yeah, you would need to take 2 strain to do 2 maneuvers to get in. Well, you have Let's Ride, correct?
No, I do not.
No. Okay. No. Thought you did for some reason. Okay, then yeah. Then it will take 2 maneuvers.
Alright, well, then I will spend the 1 maneuver to at least close the hatch.
Well, it's to get to the hatch is the first maneuver. The second one is to get in. That's hence the asking about Let's Ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had to move to shoot. You weren't just hanging out.
Oh, I thought that's how I had cover.
No, the cover was to move you near the arms in order to use the arms as cover. That's why I was narrating that, like, that would be where the boost is coming from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, I will start heading back then.
Okay. Yeah, so you would get to the 1 maneuver would get you to the hatch, then you would just need a maneuver to basically drop into the pilot seat.
Is it difficult terrain? Or... Because I do have Swift, if that helps.
No. Swift would help if you were trying to move basically along the crawler, but
Yeah.
not to here, yeah. It's the maneuver. You're just getting caught by the maneuver situation to get in and out of a cockpit, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So, okay, cast him. Hopefully, last check. We'll see.
Same as last time?
No, it is more difficult now due to everything going on. There's an additional setback due to environment, and it is upgraded again, so that is 3 red. So 3 red, 3 black.
Jesus.
Oh, Sid. Uh-oh.
Come on.
So...
Wait. Oh
Waiting.
shit, I thought I had a natural mechanic.
And I'm surprised I could use quick maneuver as an incidental. Oh.
No, but if you succeed on if you go for coordination again and succeed, you probably could. If you get the right result, we can probably say you drop into the vehicle. Depends.
Why did I get despairs twice in a row?
Because I mean, across 3 checks, you rolled 7 reds.
But 2 in a row.
Yeah. All right, so, let me see. You only need, I believe, 3 successes to complete the actual task you were trying to do, so you can use all the light pips as advantage. You can give a boost to Sid and recover a strain if you want.
Can I give her 2 boosts?
No, that requires 3.
Okay.
Just put all of them into successes to get this over with.
No, Cass already has the needed successes. There's no
okay,
additional. Sure. Yeah, that other way.
Oh,
whoops. You went up instead of down. All right. Okay, Sid. So coordination check. This one's gonna be a lot worse. So good luck. 3 red, 3 black. and you have the boost.
And it's 2 boosts.
No, just the one.
I'm so sorry.
I will use my Sense Danger talent to remove 2 of those blacks.
All right.
What else do I got? Okay.
Also, the armor of the vehicle will start melting, but I wanna wait till we see the result before I narrate the whole sequence. Okay. So
But the dark side's tempting even with the success.
no, that it won't. Because what it is basically is by dodging it, you will still be taking. You won't get burned, but you still will be taking damage, but it won't be. Basically, it removes breach and burn by dodging it. So you're still obviously getting hit, but so it's gonna be still 8. It's 8 and 8 minus your soak, so that'll take you to. Yep. 21 and 14, and you did not get advantages, so unfortunately you have to stay up there one more turn. Or not one more turn, but until your next turn.
I could use the dark side. That's why I meant by the dark side's looking tempting.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you could. Since you succeeded.
I don't want to get shot by the droids.
Since you succeeded, yeah, you'd be able to.
And they do go first before me.
Mm-hmm. So it's up to you. Alright, so Destiny and
The dark side is very reliable.
So as Castum is trying to pick up the pace even more, complete it even more quickly, mistakes happen. Another heat vent was failed to be closed properly, and it burst, sending panels and shards everywhere, scraping apart the top of the crawler as heat just blasts out onto it, blasting kind of into it to some extent. The softer parts of the armor start getting very hot, very bright looking, and start to melt and singe and begin scraping and flaking apart. And you, Sid, you manage to shift and move and kind of pull yourself toward the vent into the vehicle just as a blast comes through, but you're just not able to fight it. You're not able to get there until you just hear a little whisper in the back of your mind saying, you can do this, you can make it, and little purple glow, little streaks of purple light, almost a lightning-like look, starts to spark and come off of your hands as you just, working against the force of the heat, pull yourself into the cockpit, drop yourself down in, and the hatch gets blown off. You're not able to close it. But the job is done. Now the issue is you're starting to... the crawler is starting to have problems. So... the droids are just firing at the crawler, doing nothing, so it is your turn, Sid.
I am going to do the equivalent of flooring, putting the pedal to the metal. Let's get out of here.
Okay. So... be here then. That will be due to the issues with the crawler now. That'll be 2 red and 4 black on the planetary piloting check.
Wow.
You have 1 strain, so you cannot trigger it.
I know.
So as you try to move the crawler off of the vents, because you had to climb up onto it for it in the first place, the legs just seem to get tangled into each other, the metal causing weird bends in the structures, and the vehicle just slides and spins and kind of just almost rolls off the vents into kind of a scattered landing as the crawler legs try to maneuver back into some position. You have no idea what you're doing or how to fix it. Like, you had just barely had a grasp on how to work it when things were normal. You really don't know how to drive these things or vehicles like these. You were just working off of mostly luck before, and now it's really coming into play. Castum, do you do anything from the system controls?
Have we been suffering system strain or hull trauma?
Both.
I'll go help with the piloting.
There's no way to help with the piloting. It's single pilot.
Shit. Can I use the arms to get us back to normal positioning?
The arms are not in a good position to be used as additional legs, which is, I think, what you're trying to imply. No. And also, goes without saying probably, but it's getting really hot inside the crawler.
I don't know what to do. We have heat blasting right on us, right? Because of the vent.
Yep.
Is there a way I could maneuver the arms to at least take some, if not most of it? That way it's not hitting the main portion of the vehicle?
Not in any way that assists you. Currently, it's not doing anything. It's not making things any worse for you. It's making it worse for you inside, the two of you. Sid's in trouble, because you're both about to have to make a heat-based resilience check.
I legitimately don't know what to do here.
If your goal is to avoid heat, it was mentioned last time, however, that there is a system for thermal shielding.
Isn't that the hunker down one?
No, there were 2 separate things. There were controls to activate thermal shielding, and there were controls to basically turn it into a turtle.
Shielding, please.
All
please.
Right.
Really big, please.
Yeah. Unfortunately, due to the damages sustained, it is going to be an effort to do it. So mechanics check of 1 red, 2 black. If you succeed, you both will not have to make a resilience check, however.
I succeeded?
Yeah, we'll say
barely.
You succeeded. Yep, so you succeed thanks to the Force.
Yeah, thank God for adding that third force dice between last session and now.
And you have 5 advantage to apply.
I don't really need it.
By getting the thermal shielding online, you do, like I said, you prevent, it's only for 1 round, but you do prevent the 2 of you from having to do that resilience check yet, because it helps regulate the heat levels just enough.
Since I have so many advantages, I'm gonna throw out 2 different ideas. One, can I make that thermal shielding just last a little bit longer, or if the hatch to the vehicle is still open, closing
It's
it?
gone. It got blown off.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the only thing that could cover that up is the armoring mode, but then you can't move when you go into the armoring mode. So the armoring mode is meant for oops, we fell into lava.
Yep. I guess Sid's just gonna be getting some boosts.
Okay.
I have enough to give her 2 boosts now, right?
Yeah, you can give her 2 boosts, and I'd say you could give yourself a boost for your next check in case you're doing anything to help,
Okay.
or if you end up having to take that resilience attempt. Okay, Sid, it's a little easier for you. Not a lot, but it removes 2 setbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, you just see this, Sid. You just feel the heat, feel just a little less pressure. It's still heating up in there. You're still feeling almost sick, right? But you just feel like the burning sensation kind of lifting just a little bit, and the faintest red-orange glow going around the vehicle as the thermal shielding is getting a workout now that it's online.
Alright. What am I rolling?
2 red, 2 black. Have you though? You take 1 strain.
Oh man. Well,
You do succeed in moving the vehicle, but yeah, unless you have something in play here, you would take 1 strain.
how important do I really need strain?
Well, you don't pass out from it, so you can take 1. You're just not going to be able to take any more.
And see, I want to be able to take more for as long as possible. So I'll use the Padawan's adaptable talent and spend a destiny point to remove 1 threat because I have 1 rank and cool, and cancel out the other with the force. So no strain taken.
Wow.
Better use of the talent, but if it keeps me up 1 round longer, I will take it.
Well, you don't know if it will, but we'll see. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, the crawler begins moving forward jankily, but he begins moving forward down the hall as the heat vents slowly begin their buildup that you had intended. The problem is with 2 of the 6 vents going full blast, it's going a lot quicker than the way you would have wanted it to go. And you are not moving the crawler fast.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
So, yeah, even though you are moving, you will both need to make a resilience check. It will start off low and probably get worse. So that'll be. You forgot to roll your boost dice, by the way. You had 2 boost dice from Cass.
That's right, I did forget. So I would
Okay,
not.
so that would have been. So yeah, you can unspend that destiny point, and that would have been 3 successes. So you're actually going to move a lot more quickly.
Oh, huzzah!
Okay. So we'll say you're actually, because of that, you're moving a lot more quickly. The thermal shielding is really giving you a boost of confidence. And yeah, you do both still need to make that resilience check, so it'll be one purple, 1 black resilience check.
Huh.
At the very least, I am allowed that extra space of actually taking that hit. She is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So you take ignoring soak, 4 wounds and 3 strain, Cass. As your body's having difficulty regulating heat at the moment. And Sid is basically just holding on by virtue of the force.
Sounds about right.
And you managed to get the crawler to the edge of the maintenance tunnel because you went the way you came, and it's a sheer drop down because you went vertical to get up in here.
Okay.
So how do you want to approach this?
How's the vehicle looking in terms of, could it survive a drop? You know, it does have airbags.
Airbags, no. The vehicle has definitely been damaged due to the heat vents, so you do think the hull might take it on the chin a bit if you
Gotcha. Yeah, we
if
probably
you
don't.
just slept.
Yeah, it's going to be more of kind of like sliding down a rope ladder sort of maneuver with the vehicle, I think.
Okay.
You know, kind of gripping into the walls, but at the same time, not the most controlled descent.
All right. Okay. Then all right, 2 red, 2 black planetary piloting check, Sid. Also, Cass, you forgot to do boost on your resilience check.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Won't make you succeed, but it might be worth a strain.
Nope.
Okay.
Because fuck me today, apparently.
Dun 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 dun. Reminder that you can't use the advantage to recover strain before the destiny strain would be applied.
Right, so let's see, what do I have?
You can only spend 1 destiny point per check.
Would cancellation damage the vehicle as much as just accruing the failures?
Yeah, the failures aren't going to matter because you're just going to go into a full fall. So the amount doesn't matter, yeah.
Can I do a quick heal of the system strain? if that will help us at all.
What you can do is decide whether or not to try to activate the armored mode before you hit the ground.
Yes, I would like to. I would very
Yeah.
much like to.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you can do.
I'll try to recover some strain because we need these dark
Yep.
side points.
Yep, you can recover 3 strain then. Okay. But you do quickly realize that there is no way you are going to be able to keep the crawler moving. There's just too much flex in the legs. It was already a slow ascent to pull itself up. It has 0 traction trying to go down. You're not even sure if the crawler could do this normally, let alone in its current condition.
I know, I'll use the special arms to help slow us down.
Yeah, you can, yeah, so you want to attempt to activate the...
Yes. Yes, for the love of God, yes.
Yeah, alright, so yeah, that'll continue to be the 1 red, 2 black, and, we shall see what happens.
Still mechanics, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be double checking. Don't want to
Yep, that's a check because you have to see if you can do it, and you're struggling against the systems. Okay. Well, that's good. Don't know if either of you will be conscious still, because you're still gonna take a hit, but... No airbags. But as the crawler loses complete grip and just kind of scrapes and slides and then starts to just begin to fall, you even begin to enter into a bit of a tumble. Cass works very quickly. 5 success is the best you can do on this, so I would recover drain.
Okay.
Or give boosts to the what you're about to have to do.
Boosts. Boosts.
Okay, so that would be, you can get 3 advantages. So you have 2 boost dice to give out, either to yourself or to...
To Sid. Both to Sid.
Alright. Okay, and...
I'm not currently in danger of being knocked out by sneezing a little too hard.
Image is going to be here. Yeah, so as you all begin to tumble and fall and scrape and slide down, you guys basically have to brace yourselves against what's going on. And as you're crashing and falling down, yep, so this will make a athletics or coordination check to brace yourselves against the side of the vehicle. It'll be against 1 red, 1 purple, and 2 black.
I'm doing coordination, by the way, because it is 1 green better.
1 red, 2 purple, 2 black.
1 red, 1 purple, 2 black.
All right, considering she succeeded, now I was about to be like, I'll wait to see what happens. I am probably going to be using Destiny here, if that's okay. Well, you know what? No,
It
I'm not.
doesn't. It's one of the. It's a fall recovery situation, so it's not really as helpful as it seems.
Okay, then. Yeah, no, I won't then.
Okay, so
I'll just break my brand new leg.
yeah, Sid is gonna be out. But I think.
I succeeded.
At bracing yourself, you're still taking the impact, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna get knocked out by the impact. It's just not as bad as it could have been. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so that would be. So. Custom, you set your wounds to 28. And your strain to 30.
28 and 30.
Yeah, double thresholds. And you take a crit. Do you have any crits already?
Thankfully, no.
You take a crit plus 25.
Oh, God. You know, I'm currently home, but I want to go home.
Hey, I mean, let me be clear. It'd be worse if you weren't in it. If you weren't armored.
I mean, yeah, but still.
Because the whole vehicle would have gone splat on the ground. Okay, so crit plus 25, so no changes to the crit.
I do not believe I have durable, but let me double check just in case. I do not.
Okay. Alright. And
Oh, that makes me glad I didn't use that destiny point now.
yep. And Sid, you will take 25 wounds minus your soak.
So 25 minus 7 is 18?
Yep.
Wait.
And 15 strain minus your soak.
Hold on, I need to get a calculator for this.
Hey, bright side, you're not double threshold.
Yeah, you're at 39. You're at 39 wounds. And then 21 strain. And you right, forgot. Custom takes another crit. That was a crit from impact, not the crit from going over. Custom, this is your crit from going over. And then Sid, you'll be taking a crit for going over as well. So, do you have anything to modify that? Or is it just straight crit?
Straight crit.
Okay.
I am definitely slowed down.
So, yep, it crashes, rolls, skids, basically tumbles, and at a distance away, you see, Talia and Young, you see the spire suddenly erupt in flames, like just these huge like bursts of kind of plasma-like heat just blasting out of it. And you see a starship begin to fly away from the spire stronghold. Looks like it's just barely escaping the heat.
Damn it!
Damn, we tried.
Sid's goal was to get them out. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, they were. I was about to say they're evil. It would have been better if we killed them, but
I mean,
Fine.
we might have. They might not have been able to pack up all the crystals, so who knows?
I can tell you because of how much more quickly it went, they probably wouldn't have been able to pack up anything.
either way, I'm fairly certain we have all the other extra crystals they had anyway. So hey.
They had a few in the other room.
We got like a quarter of what was still missing, but I think we denied them the crystals at least.
Yeah. Anyway, Talia, that's what you would see, like just erupt out, and Venata would see that from her rooftop and begin running down toward where the starships are at. Yeah, Talia, you would just see Venata running toward you.
Yeah, Talia's just scooping up her medical bag at that and just like eyes wide at Venata, like, please tell me they weren't in there.
Haven't been able to reach someone calm.
Then we have to assume they were. We should get going.
You
We might be able to.
He just nods and begins to get on the ship. I can assume Young would be doing the same, and that Young will be taking the ship over toward the stronghold at least to begin looking around. And with that, we're gonna cut away to the Mandalorian ship as it's heading into hyperspace.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's nothing you can really. There's nothing you would have been able to do about that.
I know, I'm just...
Even to help out afterward, there's not really a lot for that.
I can still be shook.
So yeah, as the ship enters into hyperspace, you don't see any sign of Lonnie. You imagine she's probably trying to use the refresher, try to breathe for a minute. But Bali, you do see her heading into what looks to be like a med bay on this ship. This appears to be a Mandalorian transport ship that's meant to be able to pick up squads and fire teams and from basically anywhere. So it can carry a fair number, but not too many, and it looks well equipped for, recovering, and has a small like repair area, small med bay, that kind of thing. And in there you see Cinder basically laid out on the table, and Bali's approaching it with medical equipment.
Kadas would follow in after her and, still true to his word of being willing to help, but he'll kind of point out to Cinder. Should we make sure she doesn't have any hidden weapons in her armor in case she wakes up in a bad mood?
She just shakes her head. Scan's already been complete. No need for any of that. She goes over and removes Cinder's helmet, and you just see a somewhat bruised and slightly bloodied, very sweaty face. And long orange red hair just spill out of the helmet. Scans also and you just see Bali shake her hand, and you see medical arm of the table beginning to activate and such, and she says, gonna have to amputate.
I understand. Is there anything I can do?
Depends on your stomach.
I'm responsible for this. I'll just direct me where I can do the least harm.
Add a boost to her. Check. And you see her begin the amputation process of Cinder's arm. By doing so, that's also going to remove the hard crit. Obviously. Also the limb. You're basically given the duty of doing all the little checkups, make sure there's no other wounds that could cause infections or anything of the like.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Does she look like she's real focused, or do you think I'd be able to talk and work at the same time?
You could probably talk.
I've been away from Mandalorian space for some time now. Have you heard anything about this situation here?
Not much. Just well, there aren't many bounties on our own.
Well, at least she's alive. Maybe we can get some information out of her when we get to Mandalore. Is it just you on this ship?
Just you, me, and Lani.
Do you know Lonnie personally, or do you work for Mandalore herself?
This is just my sector. Anyone needs a call, I pick them up. Seen Lani a few times. She likes to work in this area.
She and I grew up together for a little bit. How's she been doing?
Haven't really seen her since this. So. Outside of the things she said about you, don't know much.
Things said about me.
Yeah. You won the fight. That's what
Yeah.
she told me. Credit's yours for this. She just called it in.
No, that's not at all how it works. It was an effort for both of us, and Lonnie kept me in the fight. First shot Cinder got out, and he'll just show that blaster burn on his armor. No, that was nearly it.
Well. She kind of shrugs her shoulders. Her report is her report.
Oh, I never thought I'd have to file a report, but if I have to.
You should take the praise. She gets the credits.
Yeah, if that's how she wants. No. I don't. It just doesn't feel right to take all the praise or anything like that. I certainly don't want to be the only one to get the credit.
I doubt she'll be saying she never got a hit in.
It's true. She certainly got the good hits in.
She's
Now-
kind of looking over the armor. She looks at you like, they're a Jedi?
Well, I've been on Ossus for a bit of time, and Cos will just kind of tap the flare, picking up some, new skills, new ideas.
Just nods and I think you've outlived your usefulness on this. Let you go relax. You see her starting to like finish up, like putting tools away and stuff. She's probably not doing much more either.
Such as one can before they have to present themselves before Mandalore. They can also just start walking out and taking his helmet off.
Yeah. As you do, as you're walking out, you would pass by the area that is kind of meant to be rested in, where there's kind of sort of a really long couch and some lounging area for Mandalorians to either lay or sit, basically. And you see, as good as she can look, all things considered, Lonnie out of her armor and just kind of a basic inner suit, and her hair down and free and everything kind of just a little bit cleaner. She didn't, like, you can tell she didn't scrape herself clean or anything, but it is she's freshened up, and she just kind of looks to you with a not quite a smile, but definitely a positive expression before sort of leaning back slightly.
Yeah, Kadas would return it and find a place to put all his gear down. and look around the room for water, any kind of refreshment.
Yeah, it'd be easy to get.
Alright, he'd get himself 2 glasses and approach her and find a spot across from her if he can.
You could, but it's a pretty wide gap. They're not like the across isn't close. It's kind of an open area. It's 2 long kind of lines because it's in basically the middle of the ship as with a corridor on each side. So it's basically one corridor connecting the two sides of the ship, and so on the front and back of the corridor is where the seats are. So if you want to be close to her, you're gonna have to sit basically next to her.
Alright, but not too close. You know, because he hasn't had a chance to freshen up either. But he'll hand her one of the glasses.
He'll
How you
take
doing?
it kind of lightly. Yeah, when you say that, she just seems to kind of sip from the water, not saying too much. Surprised you came.
Well, this was a grave duty that had to be undertaken, and I feel like I should see it to the end. And besides, not too often I get to run into old friends.
It's rare. She takes a sip, kind of looking at you, giving you a again, not flirtatious look would be way too strong, but just I'd say a look of interest in you that you know isn't just like, oh hey, you're here kind of thing. Before kind of leaning back. Get the impression, I'd say, basically from it, that she appreciates you're here and she appreciates having an old friend as well.
I could also just kind of look at his glass and take a drink from it. Just kind of keep looking at it for a moment before looking at her. So earlier you mentioned about finding things out together.
She sets the glass kind of against the seat to her side that isn't the side where you were at, and nods slowly.
You know, I'm always a little bit more straightforward, and sometimes I don't pick things up, but what did you mean by that?
He moves a little closer to you, trying to close the gap as much as you'll allow her, until there's probably only about, I'd say, about a fist width between your legs. He keeps the chest a little further away, but that's how close she's attempting to move.
Yeah, he wouldn't stop that.
And she kind of makes a waving motion toward your flare, the quote-unquote flare, before saying, I know that I and my brother are different, like you. And sometimes I feel it. How there's something greater around. And it's gone. And just I think, well, I want to know. And my brother doesn't, but I do. And so do you.
Ross will just look at her. Then he'll pull his flare out, hold it in his hand, and he'll look at it. I first knew back during it was just you always just felt off something there when I was younger, here and there, as you say. And I think I first really understood when I had to take apart a wrecked speeder that is on top of someone's leg without, taking the leg or blowing up the speeder. And I was able to connect to something greater, what the Jedi call the Force. And eventually, I learned to connect with this, and he'll just kind of hold the saber out towards her. The crystal. It's like I wouldn't say an amplifier, but it felt alive in a way that I can't really put into words. He'll hand it towards her. And if you want to know, there's some people, I think, that would love to have you around.
She kind of looks it over in her hand and doesn't take long before handing it back to you and says, I don't feel it. Not like you described, but maybe.
What?
And she kind of gives you, again, sort of the not quite flirtatious look, but you know that's in her mind what it is. And says, perhaps we can help me find it.
Oh. I don't know enough to, call myself a teacher, but everything that I know, I'll tell you.
she'll move her face in real close to yours.
Oh boy. Cause we'll look flustered and he'll just kind of look off and then back at her and look off again. Just Alright.
And she would put a hand on your shoulder as if to try to calm you, or just kind of indicate to relax.
Yeah, that's what I should be doing.
She just says, "Perhaps I can share all I know too."
It would be a great combination. But here, let me try something. And Kadas will try to put his hands on well, mostly his fingertips on either side of her head, towards her temples, if she'll allow him.
She looks a little not uncomfortable, but just maybe confused.
It's a very kind of basic skill that helps you connect. You just gotta let go of yourself in a way and just focus and reach out to those around you. And Kadas will try to use sense.
Okay.
Yeah, just for this, just the basic is all I have.
The emotional state.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, you would sense Bali is head back to the cockpit, so you two are about as private as you're gonna get, as far as the other side of the ability.
Ooh. Okay.
But as far as the emotional state, you still feel some coming off of her. You still feel some tension, obviously, from the day. But right in this moment, you feel a lot of comfort, kind of not quite relaxed, but if you get the feeling she doesn't want to move away or anything, and you do feel the incredibly unsubtle feeling of interest in you. And it feels that interest in you feels very mixed. There's as much kind of wanting kind of friend feeling you're getting coming off of it. But there is obviously a more kind of physical, intimate aspect as well. And just a feeling of that. Otherwise, there's some, you can feel little concerns like that you can imagine are probably Cinder and the coming trip to Mandalore, but as far as what you said to her, kind of the relax and let go, you can tell she's kind of trying to do that, and be it consciously or subconsciously, it has caused her to sort of lean in closer to you.
Okay, did you notice anything? Sometimes people can pick up that sort of thing if they have a connection.
She opens her eyes with a slight flutter before kind of tilting her head slightly in an unsure way of it. I could feel you.
That's Whew, I really didn't think of this. Here, why don't you try? Just those feelings that come and go, like you talk about. Try.
It's only while I'm fighting.
And that I also have some experience, but I don't think this ability should only be used when fighting.
No, I mean that's only when I feel it. When I'm fighting or running or... It's not just there, but it... When I need it, it is.
Yeah, it's the Force does lend its hand during physical activities, fighting, running, acrobatics. With time, I think you can hone that skill even more. But I don't think it should be the only skill you should seek to learn if you want to know more.
She would just nod.
Glass will just start moving away, a little awkward. There's a risk, I think, in people like us having the Force. But I think it can also lead to, I wouldn't say a boon, but a greater purpose.
To this, she kind of crawls forward slightly on that gap you created and puts one hand on your chest armor. Keeps herself fairly straight and looking at you. She is as tall as you after all, so it's not really... Doing that doesn't really change perspectives all that much. And let us face it together.
It would be my honor.
Do you make any physical movements or...
No, he just looks at her when he says that, but he's not going in because he's still obviously very awkward about this whole situation and doesn't exactly know where to go.
Okay.
Like, probably visibly red in the face at this point.
Well, Yeah, if you don't move or do anything, she does pull herself back a little bit. She's still kind of, when she like leans back into a sitting position, she still kind of resets herself to be closer than the gap you made, but still not right like on top of you or anything.
All right. After a little bit, Kadas will kind of clear his throat. Besides, what's this I hear about you making a report that, I don't know, from what I heard, it sounded a little unequal to me.
I acquired a target. And we engaged the target. And you defeated the target. Seems accurate.
Hey. If we're going to work together, we have to work together. A final blow isn't. I mean, yes, it may look nice, it may sound nice, but it is not. Is not more important than the fact that we did it together. Truth is, I couldn't have done it without you. You probably could. You maybe could have done it without me, but regardless of what could have been done, we did it together, and I think that's more important now than ever.
She nods and says, well, if we are to be... And she kind of, again, gives you the sort of smirky, flirty look. Well, if we are to be partners, then I can report as such. And she looks kind of a little satisfied with herself in a snarky way and leans back.
Yeah, I'd probably just get like a amused grin from Kanas. Yes, I think that would be for the best. To put an end to this betrayal with partnership and camaraderie. That is what should be seen here.
Mandalore will decide the fate of the betrayal.
I can only hope that we learn more. Everyone I've seemed to talk to doesn't seem to know the full picture, and I don't know what could have happened or why. I can also kind of look at her again. I'm sorry for your loss.
She just seems to nod and but gives you a smile and says, well, as you said, I appear to have gained more.
Can also just lift up his glass. To the honor and glory of Clan Fade.
She just kind of nods to that, her glass already being empty, but... And with that, we will return back to Socorro, where the Paragon is flying overhead. Scanners having picked up a crashed-looking armored vehicle. So, as the Paragon ship gets down low, you're able to land, but it is a very kind of difficult area to do so, and there's a lot of people looking around. You kind of, as they fell, they kind of crashed and like rolled and fell a bit, so it's like you're not near like people where you land, but there are people kind of looking down into the area you're landing in.
Okay. Are these just like random bystanders, or is there some kind of
Like I said, they're not
like an authority?
no authority, and like I said, they're at long range basically up a hill looking down at you guys, so they're not like, they're just like, what the hell was that? And what are you doing kind of thing. Like, it's just people looking. As the two of you and Venata disembark, you see, like I said, a smoking, kind of half-melted looking armored vehicle that has crashed.
Well, first things first is go see if there's anybody in that wreck.
I'd like to pull out my rifle and check down the scope. And then maybe make a perception check and try and pick out anything interesting.
About the people or the vehicle?
About the vehicle.
Okay. I'd say 1 purple, 2 setback. You see it looks like, despite taking a lot of damage, that the armored shell seems to be exactly that, an armored shell, and that whatever's inside is probably fairly intact.
Does it look military or?
I mean, it's the crawler. It's the
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, I know, but does
Well, no, I just meant as far as description goes, it looks very utilitarian, not military.
Okay. Okay.
Venata at this point
help.
would just rush forward because she thinks she senses something.
Yeah, Talia's right with her on that one.
As the three of you get close, the first thing, however, is everything is hot to the touch. Like, every bit of the metal is heated. You see what looks to be flickering, but ultimately inoperable thermal shielding. And Venata like puts one hand to it and immediately just pulls away. Are we gonna get into that?
I would like to find a relatively thin bit of the armor, and then I will motion Talia to get her lightsaber out and say, "Let's make an entrance."
It's definitely one way. I'm assuming the blown off hatch isn't visible.
No, it got covered by the armoring, as mentioned earlier.
Okay, so yeah, she'll definitely take Young's lead on that and grab her lightsaber.
Yeah, you're able to find an area near the legs that's a bit thinner, because the legs are meant to cover it and are only doing a half job of that. And yeah, two of
Okay,
you begin
yeah.
cutting into it, and your sabers. I assume it's an Imperial Knight saber for young, so white.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So white and green blades begin to cut through and into the vehicle, and with a hiss and a release of smoke, you manage to cut enough off that's large enough to see through and kind of move into with a bit of contorting. And you're able to see a battered and unconscious Castum and Sidani, along with what looks to be kind of two containers bit near Castum that look like they've kind of slid all around but are not opened.
Okay. I will, enter through the hole that we've just made and sling Castum over my shoulder and drag him out.
Bonata would kind of rush over to Sid and pick her up and cradle her slightly.
Talia, this one's yours. As I gently put Castum on the ground.
She'll grab her bag and start seeing what she can do to at least stabilize them enough to get back.
I mean, there's no medicine check is gonna help either of them right now.
They need a week and a back to tank.
I just need to make a freaking power armor that is just back to tank.
I mean, that wouldn't necessarily have helped you in this instance because it might have crushed the armor. But, yeah, so it would just be back to liquid everywhere. As you do that, are you young? Are you only focused on getting the people out, or do you check the containers?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm very curious. You know, we were wondering where they were, and they've turned up in like some crashed, utility vehicle. So that's strange. So yeah, I will go have a look around the inside of the crawler, and I'll pop open one of the containers.
Yep. Well, inside the container, you'd find the smaller boxes that have the kyber crystals in it. So you're able to figure out pretty quickly that they successfully recovered at least some of them.
Okay, I will grab one of the containers out, and I'll say, Talia, there is some success on Socorro, and show her the kyber crystal.
She'll kind of look up from Gas's body and just kind of raise an eyebrow and nod a couple times, then look back frantically like, okay.
Yep. So with that, we'll assume you all take care of it and pan away as you all carry the containers and the unconscious team members to the ship. And with that, we will go to our intermission break, and more will continue shortly.
Okay.
See you soon. And we're back. As time goes from the previous events, we now see most of our heroes on Ossus, while Hadas is now on Mandalore. And a significant amount of time has passed to allow everyone chances to recover and recuperate. Sidani and Castum still are recovering as we go on to Ossus midday, specifically in on Sol and Ray as they are running a athletics kind of obstacle course. You give me a 1 purple, 1 setback athletics check there. Cool.
Interesting.
I think you just got smoked. Yeah, so Ray definitely is doing a lot better with this particular course than you, swinging around, spinning, climbing, sliding. You get the impression she probably has a lot of experience thanks to living on Tatooine. But as she comes in at the end, you're not doing so hot, but you do manage to get a nice flip off of the last bit and kind of recover a bit of your pride, even as she's had to wait for you for probably a solid 5 minutes at this point.
Yeah, Sol just is breathing hard and looks over after landing the flip and almost in like a frustrated kind of look. Like, they just had to come back injured right when I have important information to talk to everyone about.
It's not your fault.
Just not used to being separated when I could have helped do something.
You did important things. Right? She
Yeah,
looks at
she's-
you questioningly.
Yeah, Sol just trying to calm down. It's like, it's a lot easier when you're the one injured and time passes. The waiting around part I'm not good with.
Shall we see if any of them are done waiting?
Yeah, we need to at least talk to Talia and let her know and see if the prince is available.
I haven't seen much of the princess, Vanada. Seemed isolated.
Well, the fact that Sid's not in a very good situation recovering now is not something I think they're used to.
Ray just nods, and as the two of you are walking back toward the main area, he asks, so things were so chaotic when we got back. You never had a chance to tell me much about what happened on Tatooine with the pirate.
Well, it's a past acquaintance. We've had words before, and it was very interesting. I first did not think I could trust her at all, and somehow trust happened in the middle of everything.
And she just gives you a smile and like, you're just that kind of guy.
Yeah, I could tell she was very uncomfortable. She even kissed me in a compromising situation, I think, just to shut me up.
She looks surprised but laughs. Does that happen to you often?
No, not really, especially when hanging from the side of a wall, praying you don't die.
Perhaps it was her way of saving you. And she just kind of gives you a smile and a laugh and seems to pick up the pace slightly because she notices Talia out.
Yeah, before we reach Talia, so I'll throw it out there. Like, I told her about the path we were on together.
She kind of raises a confused eyebrow.
She was also confused. She doesn't understand the Force and the destiny the Force lays out before us.
Oh. Well, I have appreciated what you've begun to teach me. It certainly helps out. And she kind of nods toward the obstacle course.
Yes, we'll have to rematch when minds are clear and I get a good head start.
Alright, well, I will go check on R8 and cast him. She kinda pats you for a moment before walking off, leaving you close to Talia.
She'll sort of give one last wave and then immediately turn towards Talia and try to flag her down.
Yeah, I think as soon as she sees that, she's just gonna churn and kind of jog towards him and hug him tight as soon as she gets there.
We have so much to talk about.
Oh, God. Don't even remind me.
There's at least half the galaxy is in danger.
She pulls back slightly and gives him a look. What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, after my run with Iris, she said that apparently the kyber crystals and relics are all for a force weapon to target force sensitive species and those connected.
She takes a moment to process that, a range of frustration and concern kind of just flashing over her face before she takes a breath in, nods slowly. And that's what Saren, right? Don't
Yes.
suppose you got a location on that?
No, just Iris's employer, in Sol do quotes, is, my guess, force sensitive himself, and he'd rather the Jedi win in this situation.
Have you managed to tell the princeling about this yet?
No, you're the first one so far. I was hoping to discuss with everyone when we got back and didn't realize things would go so sideways.
Socorro was certainly not our best time. Didn't really go as planned in any case.
Well, hopefully my information will help so it wasn't a waste and of me not supporting everyone.
Oh, that's hardly your fault, Sol. You had other things to do.
Far too distant from the the group, though.
Even still, you've come back with some news at least. Did you tell Father about that yet?
Didn't quite know how yet.
He wouldn't have been around regardless.
Well, we can worry about that another time. Were you trying to go find Young then, or?
Yeah, I was also meaning to do that. It's a lot more awkward one-on-one. I've not really got to know him that well.
Well, I can at least go with you on that one. I think he at least tolerates me. And while we're walking, you can tell me more about Tatooine.
Yeah, Sol would immediately start speed talking about and then Iris showed up, and then we got on the speeder, and then she got on the back, and then we I ramped off the thing, and then moving all the way through the whole story up to the saving her from the lizards and her deciding to not leave me there, and
Yeah, I think she's kind of laughing along the whole time, but
it was very eye-opening and awkward and a lot of other emotions in
oh,
in
certainly
this whole
sounds like
experience.
it. Certainly sounds it. I'm sure Ray had a good time too.
Yeah, her and Zufki was playing some games with Bossman and his people.
Uh, what is your deal with Ray anyway?
It's confusing. I feel the Force put us on a path together, but then that connection gets confusing sometimes.
In what sense?
I can't decipher whether there's feelings involved or if I'm reading into our connection.
Well, simplify it. Do you have feelings for her?
I don't know. It's not very simplified.
Well, maybe that's the question to work on. We can worry about the Force later. I'm just saying. You two seem to have hit it off pretty well.
I also want her to feel like this is a home and a family for her, and I don't also want to complicate that or put that in jeopardy.
Well, I think regardless, she'll have that. Anything else is between the two of you.
Well, regardless, we have way more important things than my feelings to discuss right now, like keeping all the Force sensitives alive.
I know. It was just 30 seconds of peace. Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
Before we see Young, how was it like with him on Sakura?
Um, well, he lives up to being a prince. All imperial and about the rules and I don't know. Quite honestly, there was so much going on between Cinder and seeing Lux again, and well,
Soul raises his eyebrow at Lux. You weren't with him in the bushes again, were you?
would have been better, honestly. Things didn't exactly go great. They were him and Cinder were hunting a relic dealer and trying to get information out of one or the other went poorly, in the sense of Young shot him, and then Lonnie shot him. And needless to say, I don't think our princeling is the man of the hour to being friends with him.
It's a little disheartening. He was a good person to have as an ally.
Well,
And
hopefully we haven't lost that, but I don't know, Sol.
I'm
As far
sure
as-
he's already forgiven and still thinking of you at this moment.
Well, I don't know if that's any better either, but as far as Young goes, I'll at least give him one thing. He's a good shot and quick on decision making. And I think where it matters, he'll see just about anything through.
Well, that is good to hear.
Guess
And
we'll
with
find out.
that, and with that, we'll pan over to Young, who just got done with a hollow call that is fizzling and fading away. You were just contacted by Admiral Yulin Masai about the kind of opportunity to come inspect and see the experimental projects that they're working on. They're about to do a major starfighter test, and believed you would have particular interest in that. You did see the Lieutenant Avalon Tachi as well over the hollow, but it was brief and kind of in the background. And yeah, you have been requested, if you have no more pressing engagements, you have been requested, along with anyone you wish to bring with you, to come see it.
Okay.
That's where Talia and Sol would find you.
Ah, Talia. Excellent. I've just been given an Imperial mission, and seeing as we have no further leads on this situation, I was wondering if you'd like to tag along.
Well, we do have some leads, as in information, not really a location.
You must be Sol. It's a pleasure to meet you. Young Fell.
Pleasure. And then Soul reach out his hand to shake it. My
So,
contact on
yeah.
Tatooine gave information on a weapon that could be targeting force sensitives, which is what the relics and crystals were apparently for.
Young's just going to look much more serious for a second. He's going to say, I will tell the Emperor at once. This surely requires everyone's attention. I trust you've already informed the Masters.
Was going to inform my father, but he's not currently available.
And so you informed the highest ranking Jedi on Ossus, correct?
You can tell you're new.
So you mean to tell me you have this vital information about a deadly weapon, and you have told no one?
You will learn quickly that when Sol wants a meeting with a master, they tend to drag their feet.
I don't quite know how to respond to that.
Either way, I
glad
was also hoping that you guys and your contacts would have helped fill out more of the information to present a fuller picture.
Unfortunately, Talia and I, well, our investigation did not go as planned.
You
Although,
shot the contact.
yes, if you want to be blunt about it.
I mean,
Sidani and Castum had more success, but they are indisposed at the moment. Perhaps when they wake up, we can find out more from them.
and if any other information ties in with my tip, then we could present a more detailed account of the situation.
Is that your justification for not telling anyone?
Well, right now we're just telling people about a threat of a weapon that we don't know exactly where, when, or how it works, or anyone who's really involved, other than a few names that we've not even got confirmation or any evidence on.
Hesitancy isn't always a bad thing, Prince Val. Sol's right on one thing. We don't really have a lot of information to go on.
Also, we don't know where they're getting these locations for these shipments or the relics themselves. So there's also the chance that the transports we use could be compromised, and we don't want all this information getting out that we do have.
So we have no leads. Our information is threads at best. This is an impossible task.
But if you want to notify the Emperor of there might be a weapon that might target Force sensitives and might be on a location, then go ahead.
Yes, I would love to look ridiculous in front of my father.
Iris, thanks.
One little out of character note. Iris did say that it likely had something like that. It was probably designed or had something to do with a ship. That's what they had heard. That's about all else.
Yeah, after Sol furrows his brow a little bit and just like there. My contact did say it was ship related. So if you know any experimental ships that might be in operation right now, that would be of help.
Well, as it happens, That was the Imperial mission I was given. I am to inspect him. I'm to expect an Imperial research and development facility. Admiral Masai has overseen a new starfighter design.
Well,
There's probably no link, but perhaps they can, well,
No
shed
link.
some light on who can design an experimental ship.
No link to an experimental ship that's somewhat tied to the Imperials, and at the Imperial Academy was a droid specialist who we also saw with and location of Jedi relics that we were trying to get back.
I would caution you against saying anything that could potentially slander the Empire, Mr. Skywalker.
I was just stating facts. All those events happened. Just like to point out, I already slandered ourselves as saying the Jedi might have a leak of the location of these transports.
Yes, are you aware how your words affect the public perception of your order?
I'm not speaking in public. I'm speaking to someone who's taken over leadership to get a full picture of the situation. I can admit that there could be foul play on our end, yet you refuse to admit there could slightly possibility be one on your end.
Young's going to kind of square up to Sol at this point. He'll say, I'll warn you again. The Empire's reputation is impeccable. Do not say anything bad about it in my presence.
stand down, Princeling. My brother's gonna do you no harm. We
Yeah.
speak words to you in confidence. That doesn't mean we're gonna go say it to all of the Empire.
Also, I like to de-escalate situations, not shoot first.
De-escalation is a noble goal, but it's not always possible.
But recognizing when you have that choice is the wise thing. As it is, you have a lead we can work off of. We have some information we can try and follow. So ultimately, I think we're all back on the same page. Don't you agree?
Of course.
Young's he's looking very displeased with this situation because he feels like he's being ganged up on. But he will reluctantly say, yes, the same page.
Good. We have a new plan in place. So, I trust that you, Princeling, can help manage it, and with any luck, maybe I can see if, Sid and Casta might go. Might just be us.
Please, Talia, I asked you to call me Young.
I will call you Young when I feel like it's appropriate.
I have some training to do. And Young's just gonna walk off.
Sol just smile. Sorry, I was swallowed water wrong. Sol just gonna be smiling. He didn't really get affected by the situation, really, and just sort of waves at Young while he's walking off.
Okay, and with that, we will cut to Sid, who has not been alone in her time in the med bay. It's not Cassius.
Yeah, heck of them.
Not Castum. Venata's been visiting as much as possible, but you were unconscious for a lot of it. And then, but you could feel, even unconscious, you could feel her presence a little bit here and there. You also could feel someone else's presence often, but it's not one you particularly knew. And as you've been recovering in the last few days in particular, you've had someone to kind of talk back and forth with, as next to your bed is the bed where another Jedi trainee has been. Miss Sarah Hailstrut.
All right.
And yeah, the two of you have small chatted. She had a bit of a rough time. She's one of the few Jedi kind of trainees that's actually considered an apprentice. And you would have seen her a few times, known about her, but not like ever really talked to her. She's right around your age, maybe just a little older, but no more than like a year or two at the most. And she has been the personal apprentice to Jedi Master Senka, who is a little more traditional in how he is. He's one of the oldest of the human Jedi, and just in general, very unorthodox for the new Jedi Order, but probably would have been more at home in the Old Republic days. But she, however, is very much a rebel, and I imagine the two of you would have been getting along fine.
Oh, I'm sure. Sid would probably be making terrible jokes and puns and playfully flirting most of the time. Oh yeah, you should have seen the other guy. I swear I've looked better than this. It's just stuff like that. Yes, the other guy being Gravity. So, a broken lava planet, whichever we want to. It still works either way. I can say it was smoking hot, yes.
Oh dear.
It happens, some days you just get so smoking hot that, you catch fire. What can I say? Professional hazard.
Yeah, I'd say she would she would be very interested in you, and she would definitely take the flirting you can tell she's definitely not shy about it, at least, and again, kind of that sort of rebel streak a little bit. You get the feeling that she's probably got in trouble for flirting herself. And would have done so actually a fair amount, and would have mostly focused on kind of whenever you're talking about yourself or telling stories or whatever, laughing at the jokes, making small ones herself kind of thing. You can tell as the two of you have been recovering, she's very fit and athletic. She talks about lightsaber training a little bit, things like that, and so given what you describe, I think it would be fair for you to each make charm checks on each other.
All
Just to see where we're at on that. So for you, you're rolling against 4 red.
1 red, 2 purple for her. Unless I upgrade it.
I don't think that's the best use of a destiny point.
Or no, I'll use Congenial to upgrade my charm check, suffer 1 strain.
Okay.
That it can be used to upgrade incoming charm checks, so I don't know if upgrading this would...
Yeah, you can do it both ways if you want. Well, it's more about for you to control than it is for, So make it pretty good. All right.
Well, I've met my match.
Yeah. So I would say her triumph and your weakness is she recovers first from her injuries, and thus she does have to go in and out a little bit, but she as part of your kind of back and forth banter when she comes back to visit you, she maybe teases you a little bit physically because she can. Kind of just nothing extreme, more of just like, hey, I'm gonna maybe touch you here in your one part of your waist where you can't really bat me away or whatever. Just that kind of stuff.
Tongue out at her.
Maybe a shoulder massage once you're allowed to sit up. But other than that, yeah, she'd be visiting you, chatting with you, and while the two of you are hanging out right now, he would just kind of, we'll say she's more just sitting next to you right now, but so once you're out of here, where are you going?
Sid just kind of shrugs. As far as I know, there's nothing on the books.
Oh. Yeah, same for me. My master is off-world, so... And he won't be back for a while, so...
I know, unsupervised. How horrible. What do you plan to do with the time?
And she kind of gives you a smirk before saying, well, I've been planning to get in some training, and that could be done anywhere. She kind of just smiles at you and leans back and is about to say something else before you hear the sound of someone approaching, and you see Venado lean in to the area where the two of you are at, and Sarah kind of smiles and just kind of gets quiet and looks ever so slightly more proper. And Venado approaches you and says, I see you still have someone to talk to.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Uh, you have to burn off the hotness some way. Anyway,
Banana would just kind of blink for a moment before going, uh-huh. Speaking of that, sorry I haven't been around. I've been having to play holo tag with Hapes. Because and she kind of looks really nervous, but also kind of hopeful. Like that's kind of the feeling you're getting from her as she looks to you and says,
yeah, it kind of just kind of drops the funny humor and we'll just put a hand on her, comforting hand on the shoulder.
planning to have her lean in that far, but sure. And then says, yeah, I have arranged for you and I to go.
Sid's eyes just light up. Visit Hapes? Really?
She just kind of nods slowly and says, and if made sure that the Queen Mother will be there and perhaps someone who can help us. Family. And she looks kind of at Sarah and then back at you like, I'm not saying it in front of her.
Yeah, totally fair. Sid just is looking very giddy and everything. Yeah, of course. When?
Well, I talked to your medical droid. They said you'd be ready, so as soon as you can leave, really. And you notice Sarah kind of lean her head down slightly and lean back.
Decisions. Why did you do this to me, Matt? Well, Sid is going to kind of bounce around in the bed as much as he can. Like, yeah, of course. I've gotten to this phase where I can actually sit up. She'll turn to Sarah. I might have to take something of a rain check, but when I get back, would you be interested in having a sparring partner? I'm sure I could give you a run for your money.
Sarah's kind of awkwardly kind of seems to be about to take a breath. You're not quite sure what she's about to say, and then Venata speaks up and says, well, I did arrange for others to be able to come, but this
I understand. The whole right thing.
well, no, at that Sarah looked a little hopeful, like, because she, she's, I And she kind of like indicates like I can look nice. Like she kind of flicks her. She has a armor robe kind of mix, and it's pretty form fitting. There's very little. Well, it's more of hood with armored like and kind of robe mixed into the armor. I'd say is more accurate. Very form fitting. Very. You can tell again. Probably a way she gets in trouble.
Sid will smile at Venata and, well, you're playing as host, so whoever you want to invite is up to you. Do you know what the Skywalkers have been up to?
No, I haven't spoken to him yet, but we're doing this. We need to do it. She kind of bites her lip. You can tell she's trying not to talk about certain things.
Right, and
she looks at Sarah and you and just eventually sighs a little and says, well, these are long made plans, and we have an extra. She's basically telling you if you want, it's your choice if Sarah comes along, basically.
right, and as much as Sid would be happy to have Sarah come along, the fact that Venata is uncomfortable talking about family stuff, and that's obviously going to come up in heaps.
I mean, not necessarily. And I'd say Venata doesn't seem uncomfortable with Sarah. It's more of she's just more of indicating to you, I'm not going to tell you why we need to do this now in front of her. Not. She definitely does not seem to show any apprehension about Sarah coming along. Her negative emotion related to that extra is more of the implication to you that it was meant for Kadas.
Gotcha. Sid kind of would give her a look, just silently. What is the original +1 kind of look?
Yeah. Well, you two would have already discussed while you were. She would have already mentioned to you once you were more awake that Kadas left with the.
Oh, I see.
So she would kind of give you. She would kind of, knowing you knew that, she would give you that kind of response of him and.
Well, in that case, well, I wouldn't want to rub that in or anything, so she'll kind of turn to Sarah. What's your comm number? We'll keep in touch. We'll give her kind of apologetic look, but I don't see Sid. If Kadas was the original one to go, I don't see Sid kind of trying to bring someone along she doesn't know. All too well, they've only had a couple of days together.
Well,
that
again, Vanada would recognize her too as a Jedi who's around. Like, I mean, this isn't total stranger.
gotcha.
It's more of you got the time to actually get to know each other a little bit.
I don't know, just the way you're describing it seems like it would adversely affect Venata, so
It would not.
not. Well, in that case,
It's more of like I said, it's more of she's indicating that Kadas not being around may be affecting her, not that Sarah being around would affect her.
yeah, so wouldn't mind then. I am a little surprised that the Skywalker trims wouldn't have been asked first, or Cass, or the Princeling, but I imagine I would know they're up to something at this point.
Are you saying this like out loud, or?
I'm just trying to figure out what Sid already knows of the party situation.
Yeah, neither you nor Venata would know that they're like looking into the okay, we're going to go to the Imperial thing.
Hey Sarah, you want to visit Apes?
He just smiles and nods. And looking to Venata, she because she doesn't fully understand what Venata's trying to indicate regarding the two of you, because she's aware who Venata is. That would be a great honor to see your society up close. Venata would just nod to that.
I think at this point Sid would try to get up from the medical bed as best she could.
Yeah, you'd be able to. It would just be
nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to get up and walk around. It's just you're not fast.
That's fine. I'm guessing I need to get back then.
Well, I mean, she looks to the two of you. Just be ready tonight. It's already late in the afternoon, so she's basically saying just don't rush. A few hours, you're good.
Okay. Do they allow pets at the palace? I probably should have asked this much sooner.
I arranged for assistance for that, yes.
Sid just hugs Venata.
She hugs back. As she was kind of indicating, this was something she was kind of contacting about before you all left for Socorro, so.
Yeah, Sid is just downright giddy, and so she hugs Venata. You're the best. Yeah, and she'll get up to start getting things together, I guess.
Yeah, Sarah would kind of follow you very quickly and kind of half whispering, half just like slightly panicked look of, what do I bring?
formal clothing.
She looks at you like this is the best it's gonna get.
Never do. Just be your Jedi self. Bring some stuff to train with, I guess. Things to look formal in. Yeah. Notes. Reading material. I don't. I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, this is my first time going. I don't know what all will be going on, but
What's your discipline?
one yellow, two green.
Oh. Damn. She puts a hand on your shoulder, but nothing else she wanted to do happens because you're too overwhelming right now.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, she puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, well, let me help you then.
Sid smiles at her and will accept the help. And she'll help guide Sarah to the room.
Right. So for everyone else, I would say at this point, Castum, Ray would have gotten you and brought you in with everybody else, and Venata would be there and not Sid, since she's getting ready, and probably would have told you, basically said Sid and I are going to Hapes for an extended period, for not too long, but there's stuff that they need to figure out.
All right.
So yeah. So Sol, Castum, Talia, Young, you're there with Ray and Venado.
Okay.
So,
We have our next leads. I have been invited by Admiral Masai to inspect a research and development facility that is building experimental starship designs. This ties in with the clues that Sol obtained on Tatooine. There may be a link between the Kyber crystal theft, this facility, and this Saren fellow. It's a tenuous link at best, but we have no better option.
Venata kind of furrows her brow and says, well, that sounds good. I also, while on Hapes, will make sure that Sid and I find out anything we can, if anyone in our system has known about it.
Thank
Anything.
you, Venada.
He kind of nods to you all before heading out, probably to get ready as well to leave.
Sol just sort of say, make sure to take care of each other.
Venata just nods to Sol and says, we will.
Keston, before we depart, can you tell us anything more about what you and Sid discovered? And how exactly you ended up in a broken down machine?
Horribly bad luck. We found Sid kind of ish got caught, and then I snuck in, but she kept running away from everybody. And I found that the crystals that they had used up was almost most of the shipment. Like, we only had a fourth left. Or was it a fourth?
Yeah, about a fourth.
There was only about a fourth left of the entire shipment, and I took what I could get to keep them from apparently selling it, or trying to sell it at least.
Well, you did a lot better than Talia and I did.
And then we tried to, at the very least, kick them out of that base by making it really hot, but some things happened, and yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty sure the whole of Socorro saw that.
Well, what matters is you're here now, so at least there's that, and you recovered some of the shipment, so I say it's a success on your end.
Partial success. Got some of it back, but it would have been better if we could have stopped them.
Regardless,
Coruscant
it
wasn't
means-
built in a day, Castum.
No, but it can be destroyed in one.
Not if we can stop it.
Don't you mean when, not if?
Optimistic of you.
It's not optimism, it's the goal we will accomplish.
But so, how are we going to go about this?
Well, I've been invited. I assume
Also-
they'll give me a tour of the facilities. And
Yeah. What
I
you
know
know is
Lieutenant
it's
Touchy there as well. So
what you know is that it's a basically a star destroyer that the admiral has that they perform the tests from, basically, because they go out into space to actually perform the tests. So you've been given the coordinates of where the ship currently is in space.
Is there anything we should know about this admiral or anyone who's there, or well, anything?
you will know of Lieutenant Touchy. I believe you met at the graduation ceremony.
Met is a strong word, but I saw her in passing. Yes.
She has recently been given a position of some authority there. And I hope she'll be an ally to us.
It would be beneficial, assuming this testing site is as innocent as we hope.
Yes, I would like to think that there is no no wrongdoing in the Empire, but as Sol is so eager to point out, it can be found everywhere in the galaxy.
Wasn't eagerness, I just want to stop this.
So, Ray volunteers to go with you. Oh, by the way, Imperial site. She looks uncomfortable about it, but especially knowing that like Kadas isn't around, that Venata and Sid aren't, all that. R2 is gonna stay here on Ossus to basically act as a communication center since y'all are splitting up.
Sounds good.
R8 is still not field ready. So between the two of them, though, they should be able to handle events here. Yeah.
Well, regardless of whether or not this testing site is shady or not, at least there'll be people there we can discuss the weapon with. They might have heard something in their studies.
It's true. There's a chance some of them might even know about Miranda.
And with that, we'll have y'all go on your way, on your various ways. So I think you'll be with Young and Pilot and Sol at co-pilot. I believe you will be taking the Paragon out there. The Jade Shadow will
Yeah,
be...
I'm not going to let him pilot.
I don't think you have a choice for co-pilot. Since Sid isn't with you. Well, it depends on, I mean, just, you know Sol only slightly more than Ray. She's the only other pilot going.
Yeah, the best I have is 4 green.
Yeah, well, we would only put someone with ranks anyway in that position. When possible.
As Young's looking around, Sol just sort of like has his feet up, like rocking back and forth in the chair, like from left to right, just smiling.
Yeah, so I think I think that'll be your thing. I mean, you could pilot it by yourself if you want, but yeah. Anyway, so it sounds like that'll be that group going, and then Sid, you'll be piloting your ship for the first time this campaign.
Excellent.
To carry you, Venata, and new friend Sarah out to Hapes. With you on your journeys, we shall now go to Mandalore to check in on Kadas. Now,
Oh boy.
now late in the day, and you've been on Mandalore for a couple days now, not as long as the others have been on Ossus, because it took you longer to get there and all that, but you have arrived on Mandalore. You're in the capital city, near the outskirts, however, as that is where Clan Fade is set up. It's, as far as you can tell, it's basically it's the clan constitutes a couple of buildings. It appears to be one residence that houses Delani and her brother that she mentioned, Malachi. That would be him. And Malachi wouldn't really have spoken to you all that much. He doesn't, well, as Lonnie kind of mentioned, the whole force sensitive aspect, while both Lonnie and Malachi are force sensitive, he doesn't like it or believe in it, unlike her small interest in it. So he kind of views you as like a bad influence in that regard.
Is he older or younger? Than
Older,
us?
but he's older than Lonnie probably by about, not much, maybe a year. Like they were probably back-to-back kids kind of thing. He's a little protective, but not much. Lonnie is about the same age as you. Again, if there's any difference, she's maybe a little older than you, but not by much. But yeah, that makes him probably 2-3 years at the most older than you.
Okay.
But yeah, and he'd also have been taking care of some things since she got back with you, kind of thing, and the Cinder stuff. But you would have been mostly left to your own, really, without either of them being around. You get the impression that, you know, the other few clan members that are in the other residents nearby, you get the impression they're constantly doing something, either for money or for respect.
Gotcha.
And yeah, as far as the Ordo clan goes, you know there aren't many in this area, but it's very likely that Harik and his family, at the very least, probably are in the city. Not this far out, but probably they're probably here. Outside of that, probably not much of the clan would be here.
I imagine at some point Kadas would have contacted Herrick if he could, or somebody in the clan, just to let him know.
Yeah, I'd say you could do that now if you want to kind of leave their place for a bit, and the Fade place, and kind of check out Mandalore and see if you can either just straight up find Harik or at least come in contact with him.
Sure. You know, just give Malachi some space, so if he wants to talk bad about me, he can do it without me being nearby.
Well, like I said, neither of them are there right now, so it's just you in the house anyway.
Oh yeah, they definitely need to get out of the house. Just check things out. I mean, worst case scenario, walk around Mandalore. So, you know, not too bad.
As you're walking, as you kind of exit out into sort of the area has very much a mixture of both tribal and city culture, trying to, you know, combine these greater structures with more so personal and warrior aesthetic to the surroundings. Lots of outside of the city, lots of life and lots of things to see. One of the bigger structures are the various the tower and various buildings related to Mandal motors and all that stuff. So you can see a lot as you're progressing through. Many Mandalorians here, obviously. There's a few outsiders, since this is the main city. You do see some, mostly vendors here and there. But for the most part, it's fellow Mandalorians. Obviously, most don't have armor like yours or Lonnie's. But they all have something that distinguishes them.
How's
See-
the I was gonna say, how's the general mood? Is it kind of just like how it's always been kind of been, or does it seem a little up or different?
No, it's very positive, very, yeah, I'd say nothing normal, or nothing abnormal, is what I meant.
Right. I guess Ross is probably just while he's out looking for Herrick or the Ordo residences, he'd probably just at most just stop by, get some street food, some food from home.
Yeah, you get the impression from a lot of these people that word has spread quickly about you, in the sense of you doing something really great as a warrior, not specifically having to do with Cinder. You get the impression that is being kept very quiet. Actual, like, who, but yeah, you get your food for free kind of thing.
Yeah, especially if Kadas overhears that, he'd probably just kind of try to not acknowledge that he heard that and just keep moving. That's questionable right now.
In general, your impression is the Cinder stuff is very much kept to. If anyone knows about it, they whisper about it. But most people probably don't even know about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask anyone in the crowd. I didn't, especially with Mandalore being Mandalore, both the person and the place. But
and Lonnie would have indicated to you that Cinder's been taken to the main fortress, basically. Really about all you've been told. She's awaiting, you would have known from landing that she was consciously recovering, so you never had the opportunity to speak with her, though.
Yeah, I didn't expect she'd be kept by Fade or Ordo.
No. To your knowledge, she's being treated as not even related to Mandalore, like anything in particular. She's being treated as a bounty that's been captured and brought here. So
that's fair.
So to your knowledge, there's not anything being done differently about her in terms of location or anything else. So outside of maybe if there's different security levels, she's probably considered a high threat.
Yeah, no joke. Did they ask for her jetpack and pistol, or did we keep that still? Because I okay, just wanted to make sure.
Gear, in the case of this kind of bounty, gear is considered fair game to the capturer.
Yeah, but still, just you don't know how this is going to go, and if they need it or want it. But All right, it's good to know that we got it. Whew.
Yeah, as you're eating, bustle of the crowds are about, you do manage to kind of go up into sort of the closer to the fortress, closer to the center, more core area of this place. And as you're moving about, you do see on top of like what looks to be a viewing station of some kind, do see Zana up there. Looks like she's watching starships that are flying out of Mandel Motors. Seems to be working on a data pad, and she notices you and waves to you. Her brown hair kind of bobbing back and forth as she does.
Wave back at her and just start looking for a way up. If I can.
After
Especially-
not
yeah,
after
especially
not
with
too
that.
much time. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. You keep going.
I'm gonna say after some time you do see sort of a half spiral walkway staircase that goes up. It looks like it's designed to allow people who want to just fly up there to be able to do so without causing issues, but it does have a walkway for those who can't or choose not to.
No, yeah, we're gonna choose to walk mostly because I still am not trained with it. You know, maybe I could eyeball it, you know, figure it out as I go, but let's not do that where there's a lot of witnesses.
As you get up to the top of this observation area, you can see it's kind of off of what looks to be, I'd say, the Mandalorian equivalent of a sports bar. You see places where many are gathering for drinks and watching hollows and just kind of joking and having fun and all that. And Zana, meanwhile, is more kind of separate off at the on the actual observation deck rather than being in kind of the bar area, and is observing the ships, and he just kind of smiles as you approach and say, I heard you got here. Didn't quite believe it, but here you are.
I'll just kind of smile at her, you know, helmet under his arm, still going through a piece of kebab or something. Like, what, you didn't think I could find my way back, or that I could live to see that I come back here?
Didn't think you'd actually do what Father... And she kind of looks kind of side to side.
Yeah, the Kidas's smile will kind of drop, and then I had help, and I helped. He'll just kind of look down for a minute and back towards the ships. You know, you could probably get a better view inside Mandel Motors than out here.
Oh, I do. Am. And she kind of squints.
This guy raises an eyebrow. Oh, you worked there, or you just still going from place to place and picking up what new knowledge and skills you want?
She can... Technically, I'm not old enough, but Father has future I can be in rooms. She gives you kind of an innocent blink with a smile.
Hmm. Well, I'd say not to cause too much trouble, but what else is being? Well, yeah, you're smart enough. You'll figure it all out.
And so Kadas, could you make a vigilance check for me against 2 purple?
Asking the world of me.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your defenses?
2.
For melee, by the way, to be clear, in case it matters.
I think it's also. I think it's just 2 straight. Either way. Oh no.
Oh.
I was eating my kebab.
Yeah. You probably spit out your last bite.
This should be a crime.
So, yeah, so that's gonna be... that's gonna be 6... Gonna be 6 wounds minus your... soak. Probably not much, I imagine.
It would be 0. I have
Okay.
7 soak.
Alright. And then, yeah, so you're going to get punched in the back, and then grabbed, spun around, and kicked over the railing of the observation deck.
Oh Lord.
And just as you're spinning and getting kicked, you catch a glimpse of your attacker. A brightish orange armor with some red and brown markings, and some very clear blood red Fett clan markings on the shoulder. And definitely a masculine figure, definitely a bigger, stronger guy, 5 brawn. And you give me a 2 purple coordination check.
Oh man.
Okay. And right. And so thus, as you get kicked over the side, you are able to grab onto part of the observation deck in order to slow yourself down enough, just long enough to hear a bit of the sound of what sounds like jetpack thrusters activate behind you as someone kicks forward and kind of grabs you and pulls you up back onto the platform. easily able to do so since you caught yourself. And you quickly realize that that person is Delani.
Okay, she's great. She's great. No offense, Vanilla, but come on.
She has her helmet on, much like this Fett appears to. You just hear her quickly say, "Back off, Katara!" And you see him kind of pull his shoulders back and sort of spin and kind of lock his elbows in place. And now that you're able to see him a bit better, you can tell he has a jetpack on his back, as already mentioned, kind of the looks like a strong guy. You can see a blaster rifle on one side, a pistol holster on his belt, but the most noticeable thing looks to be a double-bladed vibro sword on his other shoulder. And you see him kind of tilt his head downward and
Just immediately casting a look at Zana and just kind of, she's still there, like just mouthing, "Get out" or "Move."
yeah, she kind of ducked down and backward a little bit, so she's far enough away where she can still watch, but she's not like right there. She just mouths back "no" in a very kind of petulant teenager way. And the one named Katara just kind of seems to clench his hands and "You took her arm. Should have taken her life. Appreciate that."
And can also just kind of move separately away from Lonnie, just in case there's a fight, so they're not like stacked up on each other. Just give her a look. Just loosen himself up in case anything happens, and just in case, we'll just say he commits a forced eye to defense. By the time he got to that point, she couldn't fight back. I don't execute people who can't defend themselves.
Here. Do his coercion versus hers. He just kind of snarls at both of you before just clearly glaring in your direction by the way he tilts his helmet, and then just rolling one of his shoulders back and turning around suddenly and storming back off toward the bar. You're presuming toward the exit on the other side. You and Lonnie standing there alone. That is how we will end today's session. So thanks everyone who listened and joined in, and next week I think promises to have lots of different adventures taking place. So looking forward to that, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Later.